So this is the second installment of the Bishop's Gambit. This is going to be something called the Morian defense, which is a little different defense against the Gambit. And once again, I'm going to be playing somebody who appears somewhat familiar with the defense of this Gambit. They do not play the queen check. Notice that I'm adhering to the principles that I espoused before of developing my queen's knight first. Now, actually, the computer wants the check, but the player played bishop to c5. Now, it's incumbent upon me to get rid of that bishop, because now the check is really powerful. So now we have to play knight to f3. And this person's missing some opportunities here. He probably should have just retreated his bishop nicely, but he played a slightly inferior move. Not to just taking that knight off right away. Instead, he pins. And as you can see, the pin is already a losing move, but for a variety of reasons, I castle. Now it says that, notice, he can play knight takes d4. And the reason he can play knight takes d4 is there's pins everywhere. The knight can't take it because of the queen, and the queen can't take it because of the bishop backing up to c5. So now the computer's changed its mind to say knight to f6 is the right move. So our bishop takes c3 was under consideration for a while. Now, look, he plays the computer move. Quite remarkably. And now I should be playing knight to d5, but I push pawn. Now, pushing pawn turns out to be an inferior move, but the way this game ends up, it's not that inferior. So, computer recommends taking. My opponent wanted to remove the defender. So now, of course, if we take with the queen, we have a powerful lineup because of the fact that, when he takes on d4 and things, he hasn't castled yet, and we're staring down the throat of f7. So I took with the rook. And you're going to see the result. It's not as strong. It's close to being as strong, but not as strong. So now he's supposed to take the pawn again, and he doesn't. He takes the wrong pawn. Now, what's interesting about this is I should be ignoring this. I should just be playing e takes f6 and allowing him to take my rook with check. And I'd have a really strong game with a huge amount of development. And instead, what I do is I take the knight. So here's the interesting part of this game. This is kind of a shock to my opponent. My opponent took that pawn under the idea that it was impossible for me to do this. And these are the kind of games I really enjoy playing, I must say. And I want to create something that is close to an artistic masterpiece. And even though this game fails in that regard, this is a sound move. Now it turns out, according to the computer, that my move is the best move on the board. Okay, so now obviously I'm going to lose my queen, and I have to take, which I do. So now we add up what's really going on here. Both sides have two rooks, both sides have a knight, and what I have is two bishops for the queen. So he also has a knight under attack that he's going to have to deal with. And the question is, what is his best course of option here after I take his knight? Okay. We now have three pieces for the queen. He should just castle. And he takes the piece, or the pawn rather. Okay, so now it's a matter of how do we attack this in such a way that we win the game, because his rooks aren't developed. If he can somehow castle, he's going to be okay. So the first point is keep him in check. He moved to f8, which is understandable. Computer says he's got to move to d7. Now, following up on this is where what separates a good chess player from a tactical idiot. I moved bishop to e3. Strangely enough, that's the computer's #1 move. And what's so wonderful about that move is that it prevents a check on d4, which would have won my c4 bishop, and it attacks his queen along the f-file with a discovery. So right now it's saying that he has to sack back his queen to save this game, which he can't do logically. He is down 8, so he moves his queen, and now what we have is a checkmate coming up. Check. He moves to that square. Okay, and looks like I missed the mate in 4. I went after his queen. I believe there's still a mate here anyway, so. That's according to one of my other principles, which is when you're way up, and if you're going to run into any time issues, and I had a time issue in this game, don't search forever for the perfect mating combination when you can win in another way. So I have a mate in 5 anyway. And of course I'm busy missing these things, but the fact is that this game was a good game and a tactically intelligent game. It showed the power of the bishop's gambit, even in a situation where the white queen was lost, or sacrificed, as it were. And the whole point of the variation that was played here was that black hadn't castled. If you can keep black from castling, you've got something.